Right, we're live. You're seeing it? Are you there, Steven? Steven, can you hear me?
Hold on. I don't know if we're live.
I'm seeing it
Doesn't,
live.
it doesn't say on my device. Oh, let me refresh it.
Alright,
No, we're not live. Oh, wait. Yeah, we are live. My
we're
bad.
live. That's great. Alright, hello
About
everybody.
30 seconds in.
Right,
It's
yeah, that's
alright.
that's totally fine though. I mean, people have to expect that. Welcome everybody to the Turn-Based Talk podcast. Tuesday nights and or day after, right after work if you're in the USA. So today we're going to be talking a lot about the new Gears of War 4 trailer just came out, which looks absolutely phenomenal. And we're going to be talking about Forza Horizon 3, how it's been now become the first 90 plus rated game on the Xbox One. We're going to talk about the NX, how it might have had another leak about it once again being confirmed coming out in March, and also that it's going to be a hybrid, which we kind of already know, but it's nice to just get it more confirmed. So anyways, let's just jump right into our first topic. That's Gears of War 4, and it is looking phenomenal. What do you think?
Indeed, it's actually showcased what you can expect in the story. Like, the locusts are gone. Bye-bye, locusts, and all that.
Yeah, now
Bye-bye.
it's a swarm.
Yeah,
right?
And it's the swarm now that just invaded everything.
I think they look the same though.
Yeah, it does look a bit the same, let alone some of them are like, not bluish, let alone, and all like, different types of swarms.
That would be kind of in Halo if they got rid of the elites and just replaced them with some random guys and called them brutes or something, and they look... Oh wait, they actually did that.
Yeah.
Right. And we got to see more of like Marcus Phoenix, the old Marcus Phoenix. It's really cool each time we see him, because we didn't expect to have him in the game, but we also get to see that Coltrane is going to be in the game.
Yeah, let alone most like multiplayer games. You not this is my theory, you see, because sometimes when it comes to multiplayer games, let alone story, let alone stories in general, sometimes they add like certain characters from the franchise and put them into multiplayer, let alone stories that is playable in the story. You know what I mean?
Right. So
what's
your theory?
No, I was just saying they might have old Phoenix, Marcus Phoenix in the multiplayer. Like you can get
What if you can play as both, like zombie Dom? What if you can play as both young Marcus Phoenix and the old one?
True, that is possible because you can play as the young version of Marcus Phoenix in the other Gears games and whatnot. I think it's Judgment mostly, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but that's before he even got old.
Yeah, I know. Oh, you mean the young? No,
yeah, wouldn't it be cool to have be able to play as young Marcus Phoenix and the old one?
I thought you meant the younger Marcus Phoenix, because you can play the younger Marcus Phoenix in Judgment, you see, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Sorry, I barely played that. We played a little bit of that game. Like that game, Gears of War Judgment, was kind of what I described as 4 hours of horde mode. It was just very bland.
Even I didn't play it that much because I mostly played the multiplayer side of things in video games mostly. But I enjoyed Judgment mainly for the controls, even though that I kind of jumped back and forth in between the Gears of War control scheme and the Judgment controls, but I've gone back into the Gears controls after playing, like, say, Uncharted and Quantum Break and all that. It's just using the D-pad and whatnot that it is than other video games.
Right, because it had the more Call of Duty controls in
Why
Judgment.
to switch weapon? Why to switch weapon?
Why to switch weapon? No, I mean, you gotta use the D-pad. I mean, look at the hey, you got the new Gears of War 4 controller today. Does that one have the D-pad with like the weapons pictured on?
No, that's the Elites though. But it does have a fingerprint of the actual developer onto the D-pad on the Gears of War controller, not the Elite, not to be confused by that.
Oh, now I'd like to just bring up a picture of that controller, but that looked pretty cool though. I mean, it even had it actually had like laser engraved scratch marks on it.
Yeah, because during development on these face the controllers, they implemented laser cutting into the Gears of War console as well as the controllers, which is a nice touch. How Microsoft are immigrating some of their research technologies into their different types of equipment, like Xbox, for example.
Right. That's strange though. I get that you didn't want to go for the elite one, which also has engraved scratches.
It's not saying that though. It's just that I couldn't like save up in time. Let alone I wanted a new Bluetooth controller as it is, mainly for the Bluetooth. That is
Right. I'm gonna fade over to some ReCore gameplay because we've been, playing the Gears of War 4 trailer quite a bit now. But we're gonna continue talking about Gears of War 4. I just wanna, I think people get tired of seeing the same trailer over and over
let alone
again.
recording gameplay from the beta. But yeah, oh
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. So now what you're gonna be seeing is a bit of ReCore gameplay showing up on screen. But we're gonna continue talking about Gears of War 4, and then we're gonna get into ReCore and reviews and all that stuff a little later on. But anyways, yeah. Did you see anything else from today other than the trailer? Did you see anything from the multiplayer or any of the modes?
No, because there was an event that happened last night, but it was too long because I needed to get some sleep to get up early to get the
IGN 4 out of 10, too long.
controller. Yeah,
Right.
because I need to get some sleep because I've been up since 7 o'clock this morning today to pick up the new
Right.
controller, play this new DLC of a certain game,
And have a look.
this and that.
Yeah, and have a look
Yeah.
at this loading screen. The ReCore has just a ridiculous loading screen. No, anyways, just keep going.
No, totally understandable. Let alone when I play, like, say for example, Destiny, I just do like stuff on my device while I wait for stuff to load.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I'm sorry for changing up the topic. Yeah.
No, it's alright.
Oh man, those loading screens. Those are just gonna make you absolutely insane.
Hey, at least you tried Destiny. That it's a good move.
I did. I mean, loading times aren't that bad of a thing. I mean, they gave you the opportunity to like get on Twitter and read some stuff that for us who get on Twitter all the time.
Rather than socializing as it is, but carry on.
Yeah. Actually, I just want to go back to Gears of War 4. I saw some of the new modes they've been adding. I'm not sure if this was revealed yesterday. If this is revealed earlier.
Yeah, they did announce like loads of things on Twitter, Facebook. Like, yeah, we're going to showcase some new things that are going to be happening on Gears of War 4. Let alone that event that happened last night that I could watch a pre-recorded thing, but I've not got around to time to watch it. Sorry to say.
Right. Well, yeah, like one thing I saw, there was this what was it called, Arms Race, which is like a reverse version of gun game. So I haven't actually tried this. I'm very new to Gears of War. I haven't played a whole ton of Gears of War. I just played through all the campaigns, but I'm not like a long time Gears player, especially not a multiplayer. I'm mostly a campaign guy, so this is not exactly my expertise to talk about multiplayer. But apparently there's this arms race mode where you start off with the best weapon, like one of the best weapons in the game. You get a kill and then you downgrade to a crappier weapon. So it's like eventually you'll have to like try to kill someone with like a tiny little pistol or something.
Interesting.
To win. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because not saying I can't recall because I played so much of Gears multiplayer in different Gears games, but I know what you mean. But I think there was I don't think there was a game like that. But it's nice that they implemented it in the newer game.
Right. Yeah, and what people kind of don't realize is that it's been quite a while since the last like big Gears. I mean, let's not count Judgment. That's kind of like that's kind of like talking about like Uncharted, Golden Abyss, or Fable, The Journey, or
The Journey,
God of War Ascension. It's just. Did you know that game was originally just going to be a like I'm talking about Judgment? That was going to be a arcade title.
Yeah, like most things, like for example, Halo 3 ODST, that used to be meant to be a DLC, but it's now like a full game, for example.
Yeah, but that one was actually really damn good, though. Like,
indeed,
considering it was just going to be like a mediocre little spin-off thing while waiting for a Reach, I thought that was phenomenal. Yeah, but Gears of War 4, I mean, now it's been 5 years, has it been? 5 years since?
Yeah, I think
3?
so. Yeah,
exactly.
I lost count on video games these days, let alone playing video games as it is.
Yeah, so the whole like complaint about saying, oh my god, they're milking Gears of War. Hey, hello, they haven't had a Gears of War in 5 years, so.
Well, an advertisement as it is, which is understandable.
So,
hey, there's a new Gears games, get hyped for it.
That's true. So milking, I think not. And Uncharted 3 came out in 2011, and then 4 came out this year. So there's 4.5 years right there. So I mean, yeah, that's not milking when you have 5 years between a game. That is not what you call milking.
Yeah, unless you're playing, like, say, Call of Duty, for example. That's really milking it.
Oh, nice segue there, because they did actually show off. It's not on our list though, but yeah, they did actually show off some. I saw some footage. They did the Activision. It's Activision, right? Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have cool. Yeah. Did you see that?
No, I don't know what it is, but go on.
All right. Yeah, the Game of Thrones guys will love this. I'm a huge fan of Game of Thrones.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, because Jon Snow, someone who plays Jon Snow.
God damn,
I know what you mean now.
Yeah, who the hell is that even? Yeah, but that's pretty cool to have that guy in the show in the game. I mean, they had like Kevin Spacey, I think, back in.
Yeah, in not Infinity. No, I'm getting my Call of Duty mixed up.
Infinite Warfare.
Yeah.
It was in Infinite Warfare. They had him. Kit Harington is the guy who plays Jon Snow in Game of Thrones.
Okay then.
Yeah, I know you're not watching that show, but
no, I really need to watch it, Lillian. It'll be a bit of a binge fest, just trying to watch all the seasons and trying to catch up and see who dies and who lives and all that.
Everybody dies. Spoiler alert! Everybody dies.
Even though those people like read the books and it's like, yeah, I know what happens because I actually read the bloody books.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, I hate those kind of people who have to spoil everything. And then when the episodes actually come out, they start complaining that it's nothing like the books. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's just dumb. But yeah, like Advanced Warfare, I think had Kevin Spacey in it. Who's like mostly known for being in House of Cards, which I actually started watching now. It's a pretty good show. Yeah. So I think it's cool to show like big actors in your games, like Quantum Break. Having actual actors and not just throwing in Nolan North and Troy Baker into everything, but have actual movie actors.
The person. Sorry. You said about Quantum Break. I thought I quickly mention. I forgot the actor's name, but it would be nice if he gets an award for something because there's loads of nominees at the moment for the Gold Joystick Awards for Quantum Break at the moment. But just for the mention,
the actual actors.
Well, not just that one actor. I forgot the main actor, but I didn't know if he's going to get a award. Then loads of nominees.
Shawn Ashmore. Yeah, because that one had Shawn Ashmore from X-Men playing. God damn it, man! I can't believe I don't remember this. I played through that game 4 times. Jack Joy is playing Jack Joyce, and then you got Aidan Gillen from Game of Thrones playing the bad guy. So yeah, like the Game of Thrones actors are really getting a run for the money, and the gaming industry. That's really cool. But I like that because games have always been seen as a more accepted entertainment. Like what do you call it? Like an entertainment medium. I think it's cool to see movie actors kind of showing up in games. It's just a nice variation from the regular. Oh, Nolan North and Troy Baker showing up in everything.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, everything these days, Lillian Blue and Troy Baker as it is. But what I was going to say is, though, I know what you mean because, let alone these days, it's nice that video games are sort of medium to like music and movies as it is. But I know what you mean. It's nice that they're implementing stuff from like actors from movies and TV shows into video games.
Right. Yeah, because I just wanted to go back onto like Gears of War 4 again. They, in terms of actors, they do have mostly all the original cast. They do have the original voice actor for Marcus Phoenix, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I remember this was during I think it was E3 or Gamescom. I can't remember, but it was the guy who still plays as Marcus Phoenix, and he did the same thing where he did a cross thing. This was during like a panel or whatever, and he was like doing like a cross thing if Bender met Marcus Phoenix. It was dead funny. It was an Instagram video or whatever that I saw on the interwebs.
Right. Can you do Marcus? You're pretty good at the Marcus Phoenix impression.
I'll give it a try. I think it was like hey, you're a funny guy with a chainsaw, and then
a funny guy with a. No, sorry. Oh, that was
that was Bender.
Sorry. All right,
it's all right. Now I was trying to reenact what that was in that video. It was like, hey, you're a funny guy with a chainsaw, and then Marcus seems like, I'll cut you in half, robot, and all that stuff.
Revive me.
Revive me.
Yeah, we started like saying that in like when we were playing the Division, like every time we went down, it was exactly like in Gears of War. And we
Yeah.
started like saying, "Revive me!"
Dog, revive me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
perfect.
it's just a funny inside joke we do.
Yeah, I guess from the outside looking in, when you hear like Marcus Phoenix's voice in Gears of War, you think like, "God damn, this guy has the most like stereotypical voice ever." But I think it's kind of become very iconic. I guess it would be kind of like having a Halo game without the guy doing the Master Chief voice.
Mm.
I need a gun, or whatever he says. I need a weapon or something. You know, I mean,
I forget some of the quotes, but I know what you mean.
yeah, that's pretty cool though. I mean, the thing about Gears of War 4, I see it is getting a lot of traction, and I think that just looking at graphically, like luckily the graphics have really improved since the beta that we had earlier this year.
Yeah, I enjoyed playing the beta.
Yeah, the beta was good, I guess. It got me a little more into multiplayer, even though I'm personally not a huge like Gears multiplayer person. I enjoyed
know.
the campaign, and the second one I think was just phenomenal.
But we had this discussion. This is what we was having a discussion about this, and I don't mind him pitching in and doing co-op with Adrian, and Adrian can just do some multiplayer with me. You know, switch up a bit now and again when we do play Gears of War 4.
There's two-player co-op, which you know it's not four-player, but it's two-player. I think it works. I think it's for story purposes and stuff.
Indeed.
For like just two-player co-op for. But I think, like I titled this podcast, that Gears of War 4 will indeed sell Xbox One the way that the first game sold 360. Because I've been talking to a lot of people. A lot of people said that like when the original Gears of War came out, like that was the game for them that made them pick up the 360. I don't know if that's the case for you though, or
No, it wasn't, because it was mostly Halo 3 that got me into Xbox 360, let alone most of my canish friends who I used to know, but not my friends anymore, is what I'm trying to say. And they were playing Xbox 360, and it got me into trying out Xbox 360, even though I made my gamer tag on games for Windows before I got my Xbox One at the time when I was playing Halo 2.
ooh, let's. I don't want to be reminded of them days.
Oh, I know it's terrible mostly with games for Windows, but it was nice to try out Halo 2 at that time.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't know what how it didn't know how run things works on PC at the time, but it was not kind of runnable, so to say. I enjoyed it, and the frame rates didn't lag as it is, didn't bother me.
Right.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. You know, oh my God, this might actually be a bit embarrassing, but you know the game that made me get the Xbox 360?
Which game is that?
I think I said it before. It was
I know we had this conversation, but I want to let you discuss it.
Yeah, it was Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. As funny as that is, but like when I'm such a huge fan of Banjo, and that obviously is not that great of a game. It's a fun game, but it's like I remember like just wanting the Xbox 360 for that game, which is weird to think back to because it's like far from the greatest game on the 360. But it's a good one though.
Lelo, you did say when we had this discussion when you was playing ReCore that ReCore kind of put Banjo-Kazooie into shame, didn't it?
Yes, because ReCore does in fact come with Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts if you like pre-ordered the game digitally. And I mean, I did get a code. I might actually do maybe a giveaway of some kind. But it is the European version of the game. But yeah, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts is not a bad game actually. It's really fun. It's just it has really nothing to do with the original Banjo-Kazooie. But it is pretty good though. In fact, I could do a giveaway for anyone who posts the secret word in the comment section. But here's the thing. I will say that secret word anywhere in this podcast, so you're gonna have to keep listening.
Oh, trickery!
Yeah, that's very tricky because a lot of people just just wait till the end and I'll say the word and then you just post that. No, I'm gonna say the secret word. I'm gonna say what the word is so you'll know what it is. But you're gonna have to like just keep going through. And if I forget it, then I'll Yeah.
Do
You
a
can
Twitter
send.
giveaway or something.
Yeah.
I'll let all the bots find it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll do a giveaway somehow. But I think it's just for the European version though, so just keep that in mind. If or could it be just the Scandinavian version? I think.
No, I don't know if it's still region locked for 360 stuff, let alone Xbox One as it
Huh.
is.
Yeah, so just keep that in mind. But I think it's the European. I think it's just European in general, the PAL version. Just keep that in mind. But yeah. Uh, Anyways, was there anything more you want to mention about Gears of War 4 before we like move on?
Let alone when I mentioned about Banjo-Kazooie and mentioned how that put ReCore to shame, I was trying to make that into a sweet transition, but you kind of, it's
I see.
alright.
Yeah, because to me, I feel like we never really transitioned away from Gears of War. Hey, we talked like Call of Duty, and then we went back to Gears, and we kind of go back and forth because Gears is kind of the main attraction of today.
Mm,
But yeah, smooth transition you did there.
sorry,
I kind
it
of
kind of failed. I didn't know if it catched
yeah,
on to you.
I broke your transition. I'm sorry.
It's alright. Sorry
Yeah,
about that. I didn't
yeah,
mean to make a transition.
that's true. And by the way, we have been showing like 10 minutes, like 10, 20, yeah, 10 minutes of gameplay for ReCore already.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we could move on. Do you have anything you want to say about it? I got a
No,
lot of things to say.
nothing else to say really. I'm just looking forward to the game when it comes out.
No,
Really.
no, I was talking about ReCore.
Oh, ReCore.
Yes.
No, well, when I played it, I enjoyed it so far. It's just I had problems with the platforming, but I know you played
Right.
it quite a lot
Yes.
recently since it's launched.
Yes, I have actually. Wow, this could be a long one. Just hold on.
Two
Yeah.
hours later.
Yeah, just everybody grab a drink. This could be a long one, but I'm going to just explain my thoughts on the game, and I will post a review of the game eventually when I've finished
Of
it.
course, don't give out too much. You
No,
know,
I'm not
don't
gonna.
save
I'm
some-
not gonna give
yes.
too much. I am enjoying the game so far. It is very fun. It certainly has its issues. It certainly got some frame rate. No, actually, the frame rate isn't too bad. I don't get quite the frame rate issues that people are saying they have. To me, the biggest problem is the loading times. But firstly, though, like ReCore is certainly not a game for everyone. It is a Metroidvania game. It is from the guys who did the Metroid Prime. It is from Keiji Inafune, who did Mega Man, and some other studios. And I think one thing I didn't realize about this game, I didn't know the game was going to have a lot of like open worldness to it and a lot of exploration, and that's kind of Zelda feel. I did not expect this game to have as much platforming as it does.
Yeah, even though that I stopped playing it because of that platform. And not saying it was hard, it's just one of those things where you just try again, and then just can't
Yeah.
bother to play it. Let alone as of today, I've just been playing a certain thing that's just been catching on a bit lately that I've been playing, and don't want to mention any gaming names, but you know what I mean.
Oh, okay, sure. I'll continue explaining. The platforming controls in this game are just phenomenal good, and I think you have to enjoy platformers. You have to enjoy platformers in order to play this game. Me being a seasoned player of Banjo-Kazooie, Super Mario 64, all the 3D Marios, this game was right up my alley. Like this was just a perfect fit for me. I was not expecting this to be this much platforming, and the controls are so tight. The jumping, the boosting, the way you can like combine your jumps and boosts, it is just incredibly like spot on. Oh, we have a comment. Someone hoping that it's selling well. Yeah, I really hope it does sell well. I mean, like I said, I don't think it's for everyone. I don't think people should buy it just for the sake of supporting it as a charity. Thank you, Andrew Fay. I hope I pronounced that right. Yeah, like it's not for everybody. It obviously isn't, but I think people also shouldn't expect this to be like the next Gears or the next Halo. It was, like I said earlier, it's just a nice little thing to have just before these bigger games come out.
Indeed, even though it's like really cheap, let alone £30 as it is here in the UK, even though I kind of got cheaper thanks to the local supermarket because of vouchers, you see. But
Yes.
I still enjoy it. I like the concept of the idea, bringing those retro gamers that you see on YouTube talking about retro games as it is, and it's suited for them, just for them, for
Yeah.
those, hard, not saying hardcore, but those people that enjoy playing retro games and like something similar to that. You don't want them microtransactions. You want some really cool platforming, and even though it's got some RPG elements that most modern day
Yeah,
players
some
will
light
enjoy.
elements. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's enjoyable overall. I just haven't been playing that much lately. Compared to you, played it quite a lot, and I'm pleased that you're really enjoying it.
Yeah, it's true. I think it's a good game. There are things about it that prevent it from being a true masterpiece. I think it's a good game. I don't think it's a phenomenal game because it does get kind of repetitive. I got come to a point where the game gets a bit repetitive, but I'm not gonna spoil too much of that. This game has the assets for a true masterpiece, but there are certain things that just kind of prevent it from being that. But like the controls, the combat is incredibly well done. Think of a like an old NES game when you press a button, something happens on the screen like instantly. When you move, the controls are instant. You know how a lot of new games tend to have very smooth controls where they're trying to make the motion looks very very realistic. This game has very tight, very fast controls, kind of like in an NES game, and that is something we really have to appreciate. It's really like an NES game just in 3D, and it also just reminds me of like every big N64 game. It's got Nintendo, it's got Zelda. It's got Zelda elements, it's got Banjo, it's got Super Mario 64 written all over it. It's got all these things. And the cores kind of act as the Jiggies in Banjo or the Power Stars in Mario, where you have to collect them in order to like open up the doors later on. It's something that a lot of new age gamers, a lot of modern gamers don't like, but I'm really into that stuff, so it's a reason why this game kind of speaks to me a lot.
Indeed, even though that as a person who plays retro video games in the past, but I can understand the concepts of implementing stuff like that into a newer modern-ish game, if you know what I mean.
Yes, yes. I think we need more of these games. I don't think every game needs to be a big like
No, because everyone wants their Call of Duty and their
Yeah.
FIFAs and all that.
and here's the thing, like I think I'm content with AAA games. I'm content with the 2D side-scrolling indie games. We need more games like this that are kind of taking inspiration from that N64 era. That's like 3D platformers and stuff. Because we have a fair share of like 2D side-scrollers. There's a ton of those.
Well, indie development as it is, let alone AAA games as it is, even though I'm guilty myself for playing more AAA and modern games as it is, than feel and like and try and not what's the word for it?
Indies.
Like no. I mean like
Retro.
no. I'm just trying to think of a word that's try to stay traditional. I think to the retro side of things. If you know
Retro,
what
yeah.
I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because like retro is a kind of hard thing to say because everybody has a different interpretation of what retro is. To me,
indie games making retro games, but
yeah,
go
indie
on,
developers typically do retro because it's cheaper to make. It makes a lot of sense, and it's nice to get some like retro-ish games. ReCore really is a retro game. But it is more from the N64 era. It does have some like NES feel to it. But I think like people really need to consider that. I think this is a genre that could get more popular moving on, but I think at this point it might be just a little ahead of its time. We could see the same kind of reception happening to Ukulele, which also is a open world collectathon type of game. I think that Ukulele will probably appeal to a lot the same audience as ReCore, which might sound crazy, but I really do think it is, because ReCore in itself reminds me a lot of Banjo, and Banjo is my #1 favorite game of all time. So obviously I enjoy ReCore. Yes, certainly. I mean, how long have you gone through into the game though?
Mostly to dungeon 2. I think I started Dungeon 2. It's just the platforming, and I had to I just
Right.
died over and over again, and I just couldn't bother to play it. I'll get back into it nonetheless. It was a nice game to pick up. Like I said, it's just that other games on top of it I've just been playing a lot lately. You see,
Right.
just one
I
of them
s-
things. It's still a nice game overall. It's just a shame that not much people are picking up on it. But like you said,
Yeah.
it's for those people. It's just different marketings for retro, and modern as it is.
Yeah, that's true, and I think it could have something to do with the score of the game. That's the Metacritic is pretty low. It's somewhere in the 60s, which I think it's just we kind of touched on this last podcast. I'm not gonna talk too
Yeah,
much about
I
this.
was a bit worried about that. Not what I until I heard about that when we discussed about that on the last podcast. I was like, oh, really? And
Yeah.
when I played it for myself, I didn't experience somewhat frame rate little frame rate issues, but it didn't bother me though because I was enjoying the game as it is. Because I love my open world games like Fallout and Red Dead Redemption, some other
Yeah.
open world games we mentioned on the last podcast.
Yeah, the thing about like these reviews is I think a lot of these professional reviewers are getting themselves into this mindset that they have to like analyze everything. They have to look at the frame rate and drop points for the frame rate, drop points for the loading times, drop points for being repetitive later on, or drop points for just little glitches here and there. I think you usually have to look at the big picture and just look at everything for what it is. And I think it's also important to consider that when you go to these sites like IGN and Kotaku and all these like Destructoid and all these other review sites, they have a ton of different people reviewing these games, and a lot of times they don't find the right people to review them. Like a long time Metroid fan or even a Banjo player or something would feel right at home playing this game, but often they can find some other random guy that doesn't care for those classic games at all, and then they just find themselves scratching their head like this is not for me.
I understand what you mean, well, in gaming journalism as it is, you get like someone that likes this, someone that likes that, and sorry, it's your work, you have to like something.
Yeah, like reviews these days can be very misleading. Might be hypocritical because I do reviews myself, but I think it's important that don't let reviews, like I do reviews mostly for entertainment, but don't let reviews and review scores and Metacritic sway your opinion. Try out demos, ask your friends, borrow the games. There are so many other ways to find out whether you like a game or not. So just don't base everything off the Metascore.
Yeah, even I'm guilty myself of playing this and that, let alone a certain game on the PlayStation as it is, even though I'm not regretting
Yeah.
at all. I'm just waiting for blooming updates for that blooming game so I can play it
Yeah,
again.
yeah, that game we don't talk about that game. You
Uh,
we almost mentioned the Forbidden Game, but we will not mention that again. I'm sorry. That's one strike. We have 3 strikes, so
Sorry.
no, we have 2 strikes left.
I won't
Uh,
mention it again.
All right, yeah. So the Metascore isn't very good, but at least it seems like the Xbox One is in fact getting its first 90 plus Metacritic rated game, and that is Forza Horizon 3 on the Xbox One.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, didn't you know this?
No, I didn't know that this until you mentioned about it. Do go on.
Yeah, so the game has gotten like I think 9.5 from IGN. It's gotten nines here and there. It's got a lot of 9.5 and a lot of, I think the Metacritic score right now is in 9.1. There was like some reviewer who gave the game a 4 out of 10, who apparently also gave the previous Forza Motors, no, Horizon 2.
2.
Yeah, this person like gave that a 4 out of 10 and gave Quantum Break a 4 out of 10. So that's obviously just a big troll, some like Xbox hater who just wants to give every Xbox game a low score, which I think is like one reason why a lot of the time Xbox games tend to not get a very high score, because there are trolls out there who want to give every Xbox exclusive a low score. But I am glad to see, like, I'm just glad for Microsoft. I'm glad for Turn 10 and Playground and the people who developed this game, that they finally they did it. They pushed through, and it is a 90 plus Metacritic. But once again, though, you shouldn't take that Metacritic score for whether you should buy it or not. I mean, obviously, it is a racing game. If you're not into racing games, then it might not be for you.
Even though that I do enjoy racing games now and again, it's just the Forza series in general, both Motorsport and Horizon, it just got me into racing again because of its casual settings and all that, and that's why I enjoy them sort of games, because of them casual settings, you see, and it just feels natural.
Yes, it does. I love that demo. The Forza Horizon 3 demo is just phenomenal. Cannot wait for that. It's going to come out next
Next
right?
week.
Yes.
Well, it comes out this week for Ultimate Edition users that want to play it
Ooh.
early. Yeah.
Oh yeah, put down those extra dollars and get that Ultimate
Nice
Edition.
steelbook. Nice steelbook for physical users.
Physical users, yeah. I'm a digital guy, so we're not gonna, we kind of talked that one to death. I'm a digital guy, and we know that. But it's just really cool to see the game having a 90 plus Metascore, even though it really shouldn't sway your opinion. I think it kind of sucks how Metascores like sway people that much. But it's just it's nice to see it though. Just that the game does have a good score, and I think it's going to be a very good game. Um, when a game has a low Metacritic score, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to hate the game, because it all depends on like what kind of games you like. But when a game has a good Metacritic score, it certainly doesn't hurt it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't pay attention to much reviews as it is. I know I did in the past, but I'm trying to avoid most things, in gaming journalism as it is. But I just enjoy playing the games that I enjoy buying and trying out for myself, let alone most gaming journalism as it is. I just like to try it myself and see what I think as an opinion.
Right. Do you think that the 90 plus score from Forza Horizon 3 is? Do you think this is something that shows a paradigm shift, that people are starting to accept Xbox One as a console now more, because they've kind of been like dragging themselves out of the dirt since that reveal in 2013. Like a lot of the time, it feels like I'm going to these sites that still think it's 2013 and still do the daily jokes about the Xbox One and the DRM. There's people out there who still think that the Xbox One can't play used games. Do you think there's a paradigm shift, that we're kind of we've finally gone over that after how many years? 3 years?
I know what you're trying to say, Litlin. I know it was a big flop as it is, even though that it didn't concern me. Sure, I enjoy buying games new and trying them out new and whatnot, and that whole aspect as it is. But it's just I enjoy Xbox for its service and its
Yes.
community, and also, well, mainly its service, because you got Games
Right.
of Gold. I use Groove Music a lot,
Right.
and all the other services that I use with Xbox. You see, in Microsoft as it is. But
Right.
I'm not saying I'm a fanboy. I enjoy everything as it is.
No.
I'm just saying in general, I just prefer Microsoft over anything really.
Right. Yes, that was a funny thing. I'm not sure if I told this story before, but I think I can tell. I might as well tell it again. Back in 2013, when the Xbox One was revealed, I remember I was just really pissed at them for just the reveal. I just was not a fan of it, and it was really hard for me to rant on Microsoft because I was a big 360 fan. But you were kind of fine with it. I remember you were totally okay with the TV stuff and all. I remember at times I think I started calling you TBT.
I know what you're trying to say, let alone I know what you're trying to say, because I was one of them people that didn't mind it. Like, I did make a video about used games didn't bother me, and
Right.
it just didn't bother me as it is. But it's just one of those things, like, I'm just one of those people, but it's just how I am. Let alone I enjoyed the 360 as it is,
Right.
enjoyed the system, how much that put into many hours of gameplay, services as it is, and it's just I wanted to hop onto the Xbox One just to see
Yeah.
what it's like, let alone the whole backlash as it is.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I give you credit for sticking to it. To me, it was kind of hard. I remember you were telling me, "Oh, hey, they're going to show off a new Banjo game," and then when I realized they weren't going to show off a new Banjo
Oh,
game,
yeah.
yeah, because I actually
It was
started.
it was my fault for looking at that leak, and I should have looked up more sources about that leak,
Yeah.
read it as it is.
Because I went like all crazy, like, "Oh my God, they're gonna show a new Banjo! Holy shit!" But then it turned out it was just, it was just not the case at all.
It was just that when I looked at previous E3 leaks, I thought it was going to be true this one, but I guess I was wrong.
Yeah.
Hello, Killer Instinct, as it is.
Killer Instinct coming to your Xbox One in 2016. Like, only on Xbox One. And when I saw that, I just fucking ripped my hair out of my head. I just couldn't stand it. I just couldn't, I couldn't believe, fuck, they're not making a Banjo, they're making Killer Instinct. But to be fair, though, that wasn't actually Rare, that was Iron Galaxy. But they did say, because the thing was that they said Rare was bringing back an old IP. It was nothing about like Rare developing it, and I thought that old IP would be a Banjo game, and it turned out to be Killer Instinct instead. So that was just a thing that completely rubbed me the wrong way, and I almost wanted to kill myself at that point. Now it wasn't that drastic though.
Yeah, let them Kill It Instinct as it is more like Smash Bros. For Microsoft.
Oh no, yeah, that's true. I was thinking like gameplay wise. Oh man, yeah, I'm just not a big Killer Instinct guy. You might know I'm not into like.
I know, we did had a few matches, even though I kind of whooped your butt, even though I played too much of that game.
Yes, you whooped my ass.
Yeah, sadly. We enjoyed it though, even though I did go easy on you, didn't I? And then just like, I just went full force onto it. I just said, Ultra Combo!
Ultra Combo! I sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Right. Killer Instinct coming to your Xbox One.
Get to the chopper!
Get to the chopper! Oh, revive me! I'm Marcus Phoenix! Oh,
revive me! I'm Marcus Phoenix! That
would be so great to have Marcus Phoenix being voiced by Arnold Schwarzenegger. My God, I would love that.
Damn! Get to the chopper!
But he's dead though. Oh
yeah,
shit.
No,
I'm sorry. I think that was a spoiler. I'm sorry. That was 5 years ago. I mean, who gives a shit if you didn't play that by now? Then, who gives a shit? Besides Gears of War 4, I don't really think you're gonna have to play through all the older ones, because I think it sort of is a new beginning.
Kind of like a reboot sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, just like in my.
Not saying a total reboot, but you know what I mean. Reboot the whole storyline. Is not saying the storyline, but you got the new swarm enemies and whatnot. It just feels deja vu. Ever get that feeling, deja vu?
Ooh, you gotta throw in that reference, man. I think you're gonna be. I think you're gonna be throwing in that reference in every single episode.
I didn't mean to. Sorry, it just slipped in. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of slipping things in, I think I'm gonna slip in the slip in the code. The Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts code. If you've been catching up with us to this point, the word I want you to post in the comment section, and oh shit, it's actually, god damn it, what's happening with the stream now? Well, anyways, the word I want people to, actually, I think I'll delay it. I think I'll say it later. Wait to keep you hanging there. There's actually a bit of a loading problem happening on the stream.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's
We're experiencing technical issues at the moment. Please bear with us.
I really just hope that the stream just didn't cut off or anything. But anyways, moving on to the next topic, we heard the what was his name again? It wasn't Phil Spencer who said that the Scorpio will do 4K. Let's see, what was his name? Do you remember his name?
I don't know the name. I didn't read up on the article, sorry to say.
Phil Harrison. No, Harrison. Someone at Microsoft had pointed out that the Xbox Scorpio. Shannon Loftis it was. Alright, so Shannon Loftis has pointed out that the Project Scorpio will support 4K, native 4K on all first-party games. Now, this is interesting for multiple reasons, because, like I said, I'm sorry, I was burping. Like I said multiple times before, I really do think they're eventually going to cut the tie with that. I think at first they're going to do a lot of 4K games, but I think eventually they're going to start making games that take advantage of the power of the Scorpio, because I don't want a console that just upscales my games to 4K. Or
I
what
know
you?
what you're trying to say, let alone the PlayStation 4 Pro as it is, but it kind of doesn't. I know I'm going to mention about this in every podcast until I get my facts straight.
Right.
But 4K gaming and VR doesn't appeal to me at the moment. But maybe when the
But you do have a
Scorpio does.
4K TV though.
Oh, do I?
Yeah,
Oh, do I?
you do have. No,
Oh,
no, you don't have 4K. I'm sorry, you don't have 4K TV.
okay.
All right. God, okay. Never mind. Yeah, I think the game was the Xbox Scorpio is very. God damn it! Something. Are you seeing the stream? Something's happening with the stream. There's some
I did
lag.
see it a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
We're
there's some.
experiencing some technical issues at the moment. Please bear with us.
Uh, I'm good. I'm just gonna go ahead and listen up. Just make sure it's done.
Oh,
No, you don't have 4K. I'm sorry, you don't have 4K TV.
okay.
All right. God,
It's streaming for me.
All right. Yeah, I just what you heard there was me just turning up the sound a little bit.
No,
So I could,
I didn't.
no, I was just turning up the sound on the stream itself just to make sure that everything was okay, and it sounds good. So yeah, we could
You
move
were
on.
saying.
Yes. So I think it's mostly like a PR talk saying that all games will support 4K. I think yes. To begin with, the way that I'm seeing it is that the Xbox Scorpio is going to launch next fall, and at first it's going to be the high-end system that will play all their games at 4K and yada yada yada. But I think eventually it will move on to becoming Microsoft's default console. Eventually there will be games that simply cannot run on the regular Xbox One, that are just like so insanely graphically intense that they just can't run on the old hardware, and those games are gonna go back to being 1080p, because like I
Well,
said, yeah,
sorry, Karen.
yeah, because I do not want, and I repeat, I do not want a system that just plays all the same games only in 4K.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say because there are like not saying limits. I know there's some developers have struggle sometimes with 4K gaming as it is, let alone we can't do it 4K at the moment because we don't have the technology or the development kits ish, development to be able to do 4K. I can understand in a developer point of view, let alone I'm not saying most games because I let alone betas as it is, sometimes when they release some betas, they don't enable it to 720p, not 720, and 1080p. I'm getting my resolution mixed up, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But when they do release it, they release it in that resolution. But it's
Right.
understandable why developers have a hard time on certain resolutions as it is if you're
Yeah.
playing like a game that's only just in 720p and whatnot.
But both Sony and Microsoft, they're both coming out with like their upgraded versions of their consoles, and they both have made it very clear that in terms of third party, they are not forcing anyone to shoehorn in a certain resolution, and so that's great. What Microsoft does internally that doesn't bother me, because honestly I think they are organized, they know what they're doing. They say that all of their games will be 4K, and I think that is fair if the Scorpio is really going to be the beast that they say it is. And if but I think it's going to be 4K for the games that are also on Scorpio, the regular Xbox One. Eventually there will be Scorpio exclusives that can't run on the regular Xbox One, and those games I think will go back down to 1080p, because 4K is cool, it's nice and all, but I don't want to see games that I don't want to see anything else being what do you say what is the word, compromised, right? Compromised for 4K, and that is not a knock at the Scorpio, because obviously the Scorpio is by what we heard going to be a hell of a lot more powerful than the PlayStation Pro, which I think is a good thing, that the Xbox Scorpio could really become Microsoft's next system, with pretty much all the components being upgraded, not only the GPU but the CPU and everything, whereas the PS4 Pro, pretty much the only upgrade they've done was the GPU, so you're only gonna see better graphics and better resolution and nothing else. And so I think the fact that Microsoft is doing a really big step with the Scorpio, even though it's going to be expensive to begin with, but hardcore gamers are willing to pay quite a bit, and eventually the cost will come down, and then there'll be games that only run on the new system, and it really will be Microsoft's next system, I think.
let alone 4K will be sooner or later in the next few years will be the next standard, which is understandable with technology these days. But it's nice though that we get to see 4K gaming come to life before you know it at some point. But we'll just have to see how it goes. Really, like I said before, and it doesn't bother me at the moment. I'm quite happy with the consoles that I have that run whatever that it can to be able to play video games as it is.
Right, that's true. So yeah, I mean, 4K is it's an interesting thing, but it's not super exciting to talk about. We talk so much about 4K and we don't actually. It feels like it's still so far away to the point.
Yeah, it doesn't appeal. Like I said beforehand, it doesn't appeal to me still. But eventually, maybe when the Scorpio comes out, most people might get hyped about it. Maybe I might not say pick one up, but maybe I might get some interest in me and maybe get interested in 4K a bit more. Maybe.
Yeah. I think in terms of 4K movies are here. That's now. That's great.
Let alone the Xbox One S is getting quite a seller because of the 4K Blu-ray player, which is understandable.
Yes, that's true. That thing is flying off the shelves because it is doing 4K movies, and that is phenomenal. But I think in terms of 4K gaming, I think that's really like as a standard for everything. I think that's a really far away. Sacrificed. We got a comment here. Someone asking, is it sacrificed? The thing about, look, 4K obviously does sacrifice other things in the game. I would like to see. I don't want to see. What kind of examples can I do? Game AI, the size of the worlds, all of that stuff. I don't want to see that stuff being sacrificed for the 4K resolution. It is a nice thing to have for older games that can do it, but now I was saying, I found right, well, just what do you think about it though, about sacrificing the resolution?
I know what you're trying to say, because this is an example. I know this is a bit of a different example, but like the 3DS, for example. When they have to implement a fighting game, which is a like Dead or Alive or Street Fighter, they have to sacrifice most things like animations and this and that to be able to run onto the 3DS, which
and a lot of people just turn off. A lot of people just turn off the 3D anyway. Yeah. And I do. Yeah, so this guy Michael Clark, he's in the comment section. He's pointing out that he prefers to have a frame rate improved over 4K. Totally agree with you. That is absolutely a thing. I really want to see games being 60 frames. That is something I want to see for everything. 60 frames should absolutely be the standard, because that is a very nice thing to have. I think 60 frames for multiplayer games should absolutely be a standard. And that's a funny thing, because the PS4 Pro, Sony has kind of said that their multiplayer games won't have 60 frames per second on the Pro, because they don't want to give players an advantage on the Pro, which is a ridiculous statement, because there's so many other things that can give you an advantage. The type of TV that people have, the input lag, the kind of controller that people use, the resolution can give people an advantage because they can see people further away. There are so many factors that can give people advantages and disadvantages. Certain people have better and worse internet connection. Some people use headsets that can make you able to hear people coming down the staircase, like in Rainbow Six Siege. Like if you have headsets in that game, you have massive advantage. There are so many ways to get advantages and disadvantages in games. So I think the fact that the frame rate, it really shouldn't matter if you play a game in 30 frames per second and you play it with someone at 60 frames. It really shouldn't matter, because it really only makes things a bit smoother. It will give you a bit of an advantage, but I think there are so many other factors that count as well.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. Like you said beforehand, like headsets in general, be able to hear footsteps and stuff like that when it comes to playing certain games like Rainbow Six and other types of various games that can improve on the gamer to be able to play them certain games to have an advantage over particular games that they're playing on the opposite side.
Yeah, and that's also a funny thing. Like the Red Dragon was making a very long video about this. It's pretty funny actually, and he even linked to a page. He referred to a page on Sony's official webpage actually, where they're showing that they're actually selling PlayStation 4 mouse and keyboard. So if frame rate is an advantage. I don't know what mouse and keyboard is, because that does sound like an advantage to me.
Yeah, let alone the Xbox One will be hopefully getting a mouse and keyboard support, even though they're kind of working on it, but we haven't seen word since they've been working on it lately.
Yes, I'm all for that, but I think with mouse and keyboard, I don't want mouse and keyboard players playing with controller players, so I hope they can make separate lobbies for games. I'm always taking...
Yeah, we had this discussion about this, let alone the Halo gamers in general. Like, for example, Halo is now available somewhat on PC, and you can use mouse and keyboard on it, let alone the theory is when Halo 6 does come out, and they might do a cross-play, knowing Microsoft and whatnot, let alone implementing both controller and mouse and keyboard on both the Xbox One and PC, but have to make certain, won't say inputs, but, advantages between them two on both the systems.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you should separate players by the kind of input you're using and not by the hardware you're playing on. Is that kind of how it should be?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that basically what they're saying, 4K being in every game they have, it's not necessarily a thing I'm gonna clap my hands for, like, yes, do 4K, but it makes sense, and I think it's also a testament to how the Xbox One Scorpio is going to be probably really powerful, and probably going to be pretty expensive to begin with, but I think it's fine, because eventually it'll go down in price, and eventually it'll just become the new standard system. But like I said 1,000 times before, I want to see games take advantage of the hardware. I don't want to see the old Xbox One hold it back, and I want to see that with a Pro as well. I don't want the regular PlayStation to hold it back. So, speaking of old hardware that's holding things back, Nintendo. Are we all right with talking about Nintendo without getting copyright claimed up the ass?
Well, and I discussed about this thing on the last podcast, but it's all right now. Let alone we had this discussion about this before, after the podcast was live.
Yes, that's true. We did actually mention a little bit about Nintendo. I just hope that not everybody falls asleep when we start talking about Nintendo. But I think it needs to be said. There are multiple things that happened this week. Firstly, the amiibo for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild had leaked. I'm gonna put that in quotation. Leaked the release date of March 3rd, 4th, something early in March. And since they've said that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is going to come out on the same day as the amiibos, and combine that with the fact that we've also heard that NX will come out around the time that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is coming, this could actually confirm in a strange way that the NX is in fact coming in March.
It seems a good theory, because knowing amiibos, like for example the Kirby amiibo lineup and the Mario Elite amiibo lineup, they release games during that time, which is it's totally what's the word? What's the word for it? Not pleasable. What's the word kind of for that?
I don't know, spaced out. They're coming out at a nice time when people don't have much else to buy, I guess.
A coincidence maybe, but you know what I mean. Yeah,
unlike the Zelda, all those Zelda amiibos that are coming this year in December, which are coming out on like the same day as
I might pick one up.
Oh, I think I'm gonna buy all of those. Those amiibos look sweet. Those
I don't know which one to choose. I like the 8-bit one, but I didn't know to get the Wind Waker one. Yeah.
I have a 8-bit Mario, so I think I'm gonna get that 8-bit Link. I also think I'm gonna get the Link with the ocarina. Man, they all look so pretty. I'm gonna get that. But yeah, what do you think about NX coming out in March? I kind of felt like we knew this, but what do you think about that time?
Let's just hope it doesn't get delayed like the Zelda as it is, the new Zelda game as it is.
Don't you think it would be better for the NX to come out in the fall? Because no consoles have ever come out in the fall. In the spring, I mean, except like handheld systems. The 3DS did come out in
I was going to say they did do that in the past. I know what you're trying to say. I remember that actually, but it is come to a thing where if you do release something in the spring or whatever, no one doesn't give a damn about, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's understandable why you want to release it there. So it makes not saying much sales, but you know what I mean, gets a bit of a open window, so to say.
Yes, and adding on to that, we have another source from this Japanese name. I hope I pronounced it right. Tsunekazu Ishihara, who is the CEO of the Pokemon company, who has actually kind of sort of hinted to the NX being a console handheld hybrid, which it kind of falls under the category of no shit news, I guess.
Well, in the rumors as it is, it's not saying it's appealing to me at the moment. I'll just wait until the goddamn thing is out in the wild well, not Breath of the Wild, but you know what I mean, just out of the wild, and reveal yourself and all that, and then I'll give a damn about it.
Yeah, show yourself. We should put that like the NX on a milk carton, like gone missing. Like have you seen me? NX system missing since forever. Yeah.
I've seen that reference, though. Then I should not mention that's the. Don't make it a second strike, please.
Oh, I hope not. I hope we're not gonna get copyright strike and all from Nintendo. We're not showing any Nintendo footage, so I hope we're not just gonna get copyright strike just for talking about those guys. I really hope not. But yeah, the thing about this that's also interesting, the reason why he's hinting at it being a handheld console hybrid is because he's talking about there certainly being a Pokemon game on the NX, which is interesting because you know that there really haven't been any like mainline Pokemon games on the consoles, which is further just hinting at this being kind of the successor to not only the Wii U but the 3DS itself. But again, But again, I'm gonna put it all under the no shit news. I think we kind of already know the NX is going to replace both the Wii U and the NX. So it falls under no shit news. But carry on.
No, I was going to say that you were saying about Pokemon games being on consoles. I know there's been some not mass majority. I mean, somewhat games on the consoles like Pokemon Colosseum, the Pokemon Rumble thing on the Wii U, and all that. But not dissing Pokemon Colosseum. Pokemon Colosseum was a great game, but it's just this and that with most games on consoles with Pokemon games.
Right. Yeah, you're getting Sun and Moon, right?
Oh, indeed. It's something I'm planning to get in November, even though I haven't got plans for November yet. But it's something I really want to play. Well, in Pokemon Go as it is, I haven't been playing much Pokemon Go lately because I couldn't be bothered to hook up the
that Pokemon Go. I stopped after a few weeks. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of my friends are still playing that game. I'm like, wow, you really found that much enjoyment in that? It was fun to begin with, but it just got kind of repetitive after a while, I think.
Maybe if they release Gen 2, which people making Pokemon Go videos these days, even though I'm guilty for someone who has subscribed to because of his vlogs, but he's been doing like Pokemon Go stuff lately. But it's nice to know what stuff are happening in the Pokemon Go world. But maybe I'll wait until maybe Gen 2 maybe kicks off at the winter. Maybe I'll start playing it again for Gen 2 stuff.
Oh, they're going to do Gen 2 Pokemon?
Yeah, I've been watching these like Pokemon Go videos that I subscribed to, and there's been like loads of hints and stuff about Gen 2.
Alright, that's probably exciting. Yeah, I'm gonna start showing some more Gears of War 4. Just play that Gears of War 4 trailer a few more times because I think people might be a bit tired of the ReCore.
Roll the clips.
Roll the clip. Yeah, just loop that thing. So I think we kind of gone through our topics. Really, we discussed everything. I mean, I guess we would like to do some plugs. You don't need to like reintroduce yourself because we've kind of done that like a few times. But do you want to talk about just quickly where people can find you, and are there any videos you'll be doing this week or next week?
Well, I've been doing this and that lately, and I would mention some things by making a special vlog and statementing what I've been up to lately. But I've been doing this and that. I've been active doing some YouTube videos and whatnot lately. I've mostly been playing Destiny Rise of Iron lately, and lately I will play more ReCore, but it's just that DLC in general is nice though. I've been playing that most of today, and I've been playing it more this week. Lately, and some other things that I would say, but I'll mention about in the upcoming vlog that I'll be doing this week.
Right. Yeah, and you just did an unboxing of the Xbox, the Gears of War Xbox One S controller.
Oh yes, it's really really nice. As I
Oh,
said in
that's
that video, but I'll quickly mention it here that I haven't bought like the second phase of Xbox One controllers with the upgraded bumpers or
right.
the headphone jack. So it was just a nice to experience that. Rather than the third phase of the controllers, rather than Bluetooth as it is, it's a nice feature to be able to use on my Windows 10 devices and whatnot.
Yeah, Microsoft are really good at doing improvements to their controllers. I think, just first doing the changes to the bumpers, that was nice. Adding Bluetooth, making the dead zone for the joysticks better. In my opinion, I think that the Elite controller just kills everything.
I'll get one eventually. I just don't know half of the time to be able to save up one while I'm trying out video games as it is.
Right. All right. And yeah, and your Twitter is where can you find you on Twitter?
At Steviet7.
Right. All right. Yes, we can also see it in the corner. I just wanted to hear the confirmation from you. You can find me at Adrian_Passion, and in terms of videos, I will do a ReCore review, which I don't know when it'll be ready because I need to play through the game, and there's a lot of stuff to get through before I can finally get that game reviewed. Also, I think I will in fact do a on-screen appearance in my next review. I think that's all very exciting.
Shock face.
Yes. And also, yeah, I think I've delayed it long enough now, so I'm doing this at the very end of the video. The word that you'll need to post in the comments, either in the chat or in the comments after the video has been uploaded, because now we're gonna end it. So I doubt anyone's gonna be posting it in the chat. But the word you need to post in order to get the Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts code, just remember it is European. But if you want the code, just post Bazinga.
Ooh.
Post Bazinga, and we'll choose a random person. If you're the only one, then it's yours. Just make sure you're European. We don't want to give it away to someone who can't use it. Or in that case, you can just give it away to someone else, and just so sure, there's no problem there. Anyways, yeah. So I'll be doing a ReCore review, and make sure to catch us next week on Turn-Based Talk. Thank you for joining us this week, and yeah, we'll be back next week.
See you guys.
See you guys later.